Hello and welcome to FCT Brief. Now, we are live from our studio here in Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. Now, as Nigeria gears up for the 2027 general elections, political activities are beginning to intensify across the country. In the Southeast, a region known for its unique political identity and voting patterns, realignments and agitations, and fresh aspirations are shaping the discourse. The Southeast geopolitical zone, comprising 5 states, Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Imo, has long been a stronghold of opposition politics, often leaning towards parties other than the one at the center. But as the 2027 approaches, the dynamics are beginning to shift.
While the All Progressives Grand Alliance still holds sway in Anambra and the People's Democratic Party maintains pockets of dominance, the growing presence of the All Progressives Congress, especially at the 2023 election, signals a strategic push to deepen its roots in the region. The region's clamor for greater inclusion in national politics, particularly the presidency, remains a key issue. The marginalization narrative, along calls for restructuring and justice, continues to define political conversations. Now, as preparations quietly build momentum, key stakeholders in the Southeast are also grappling with internal party crisis, ethnic consideration, and lingering effects of insecurity, factors that could influence voter turnout and political outcomes. And to help us take a closer look at the evolving political landscape in the Southeast region is a retired diplomat. He served as Nigeria's envoy in Germany, Ghana, Cuba, and Portugal. Let's welcome Ambassador Simon Ejike Eze to our studio. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Nice to have you here.
Nice to have you
here.
here. Well, let's jump right into what we have today. We are seeing more regions aligned with the APC-led federal government, especially with all the recent defections. But the Southeast still seems to be holding back. Why hasn't there been a similar political shift in the Southeast?
Thank you for having me. Let me start by correcting one impression. I was not an envoy in these countries, but I served the Nigerian government in these countries as a diplomat.
Well noted.
Now back to your question, the Southeast and the APC. You rightly pointed out that it's a region that had always voted against the party in power at the federal government, with the party in power at the federal government. That's the PDP. But when the APC came in, it became a different ballgame. But almost all the states were PDP when the APC government came in 2015. But shortly after that, Ebonyi State became an APC government. And then later, Imo State. We started with Imo State. Yeah, Imo State was the first state that became APC by election, through the victory of Hope Uzodimma.
Exactly.
Then later, Ebonyi State joined.
By defection.
By defection. And now we had 2 states. And then 1 PDP state, 2 PDP states, and 1 APGA. Then in the 2023 election, Labour Party won Abia. Then Abia was Labour. Anambra was APGA, and then Enugu remained the only APC state, only PDP states. So right now we have 2 PDP states, we have 2 APC states, 1 Labour state, and 1 APGA state, and 1 PDP state. That's making the 5 states in the Southeast zone. But with the coming of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his transformative agenda, you find that almost all these states in the Southeast are tilting towards the APC government because of the reformative policies of the present government. So what is there is this: APC did not prior to now have a strong hold in the Southeast. But now it is the party to beat in the whole of Southeast, because almost all the states are tilting towards APC. Even the APGA government in Anambra State, with Governor Soludo has pledged to work for the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Same with the Abia. And the two APC states definitely will have a landslide victory for APC. And I hear too that Enugu state government and governor is also tilting towards working with the APC government, even though we've been expecting a complete defection, which we hear may happen soon, but I'm not too sure about it. So right now, we are strategizing to take over the whole of, to take the 3 states and then win the 2 other states that are Labour and Apuga for the APC presidential election.
Okay, now let's look at it this way. For over 16 years, the PDP was in charge of the Southeast. Now you said the dynamics is changing. Yeah. Now, what were those reasons why Southeast was particularly leaning towards the opposition party? They must have had their own benefits. Why do you think the game is changing? Why is the game necessarily changing? Because you said APGA is supporting the presidential election, but it still remains in APGA. You said the Abia governor will be supporting the president, but he still remains in Labour. The Enugu governor will be supporting, but he still remains in PDP. So it's like it has not really changed. It's just voting for the president, mobilizing for the president, but they still remain traditionally they are old parties they used to be.
Like I said, the 2 other states that are not APC, the 3 other states are not APC, they are also interested in self-preservation. Yeah. But they know that the presidency is already in the hands of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he is seeking re-election. And we do not see any viable candidate that can defeat the president in the election. So it is better for them, whether in APC or not, to work for the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, other than any other candidate, which we may not have known by now. But for the 2 APC states, and hopefully the 3rd one that is coming soon, I'm very sure that they will all vote for APC. And this is not for any other reason, other than the reformative policies that is transforming the whole of the development in the Southeast. So that by now, you're already aware of all the accusations of marginalization, which has almost been wiped out by the present government in the Southeast, talking about the policies of this government in the Southeast. You know, all the while after the war, we are hearing about the 3 R's, that we are going to have this, have that. But then no government had been able to do that until the president constituted the Southeast Development Program.
So are you saying that it is better for the Southeast to, tilt towards the APC because they are the government in power, or indeed there have been improvement felt in the Southeast that, indeed Tinubu has won the hearts of the Southeast? Is that what you're saying? I'd like you to clearly define that. Yeah,
that's correct. Tinubu has actually won the heart of the Southeast with his policies. And then the party on ground now is working towards solidifying these programs in the Southeast so that everybody will now understand that, look, it is better for us to queue in and be at the national politics than to be in opposition to the national.
And what are these policies? Because you keep mentioning policies. A lot of Nigerians might want to know what these policies are. What are these influences that may have won the hearts of the Southeasterners?
First of all, the removal of fuel subsidy. We no longer have fuel scarcity. Fuel is available everywhere. And then the removal of fuel subsidy has also impacted on fiscal policies of this country. There's more resources for all levels of government. With that, the local government chairman, the state government, they're all getting more money prior than now. So with this more money, they're expected to impact on the local government and the states generally. So they all see it clearly. The tax reforms is coming, and when the tax reforms comes, those who don't have up to a minimum number of a certain amount of money will not be taxed; they'll be tax free. And then when you consider what is going on right now, where they tax even the market women every day in our place, and when that is abolished, it will relieve them of all these tax burdens of local government and state government, because the tax reforms unifies the tax system in the country.
Okay, let's look at it this way. For a particular state, for instance, to want to support the president at the center, could it also translate to the fact that it's either their parties feel that the APC is not popular when it comes to presenting a governor. So the governors are refusing to defect, and they remain in their traditional party because they feel if I should move, I will lose my base. So how does that buttress the fact that the APC is getting popular? If a governor in another party is refusing to move, but they say, okay, I will endorse the center, which means if I remain with my traditional base, I might lose support.
Yeah, for a state like Anambra State, for instance, okay. You know the legendary Odumegwu Ojukwu founded APGA. So to take away APGA from Anambra State will be a big difference.
So APGA is popular in Anambra?
It is very popular in Anambra State. But APC is making a lot of inroads. We lost one of the aspirants that would have made a difference. But then the present governorship candidate is also a popular person and is making a lot of inroads. Besides all this, you know, politics is about mobilizing the people. And you don't mobilize the people with empty hands. There are people who are now ready to go to the grassroots and mobilize them, talk to leaders, so that they will come over to this. For the Labour Party in Abia, I'm not sure they can easily leave Labour Party for now because their party is still in disarray. But if at the end of the day they don't get themselves, their acts together, I'm very sure that he might also decamp to these things. Many people elected on the platform of Labour Party have decamped to APC in the Southeast. Many, so many of them. So what I'm saying is the parties are all in tandem in terms of re-election of Mr. President. But then some of them still hold on to their traditional parties that put them to power because of ethnic and religious sentiments and things like that.
Let's talk about the Southeast Development Commission, which was meant to bring hope to the region. But there's talks that the appointment into the commission is causing division than unity. Could this internal friction reduce the impact and public support?
No, the Southeast Development Commission is yet to take off effectively. But all the appointees have been announced and they're sworn in. I don't see any division any longer because of in the party in the Southeast because of Southeast Development Commission. What we are waiting for now is for them to hit the ground running and we begin to see their impact. And with the creation of a Southeast Investment Commission again, in addition to the Development Commission, I believe that by the time they take off fully, the Southeasterners will begin to see the impact of this administration in the whole of Southeast. Infrastructure-wise, road-wise, everything. You recently heard about the Southeast rail corridor, where the president voted $3 billion to resuscitate the Southeast rail corridor. That will take you from Port Harcourt throughout the states in the Southeast and South to northern Nigeria. There was also the superhighway that will shorten the distance from Southeast to Abuja by almost 1 hour. That is ongoing now. And right now, all the roads in the Southeast are under reconstruction. Those that were not passable are being made passable by this government. The Makurdi-Enugu road is under reconstruction. The work is going on there. I passed through there not quite long. And all these are impacts of Mr. President on the Southeast development, infrastructure development.
Now beyond that, I know quite all right for some time the issue of roads have been a challenge to Southeasterners, and like you rightly said, that this government has seriously improved the infrastructural development in terms of road. Now, what are those other things, positive impact that the government of the day is creating, and you think that is responsible for this change in dynamics for the Southeasterners?
Thank you for this question. Appointment of key officers from the Southeast extraction into government. In the previous government, we didn't have any key political appointee. We now have Chief of Naval Staff, almost from my village, and he's doing a lot. He's doing a lot there. The Chief of Naval Staff is there. The Deputy Speaker is there. We didn't have all these key political appointments. And again, the ministers that are now from the Southeast are doing a lot of work, especially one of them is the Minister of Science and Technology, Chief Uchendaji. He's touching the lives of the people every day in the Southeast, in the whole of Southeast. So key political appointees of government are working very hard to see that the people see the benefits of coming over to this administration and supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's re-election.
All right, we'll still discuss more on this, but let's take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll still have more for you on the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're glad to have you back. You're still watching FCT Brief, and we're still discussing Southeast politics. And with us in the studio is Samuel Ejike Eze. Well, let's talk about security in the Southeast. Security has been a big issue, but some reports suggest that the situation is gradually improving. Yet many local leaders still act like nothing has changed. Why do they think, or why is it that they are not acknowledging this change?
They are acknowledging the change.
Okay.
The recent statistics shows that kidnapping and gunmen has drastically reduced. All the governors are pushing policies out to tackle insecurity in the Southeast. The issue of Nnamdi Kanu sit at home is no longer being practiced in any part of Southeast. So the security situation is improving because the governors have realized that the federal government cannot do it alone. There are federal agencies in the Southeast, and they are collaborating with them. Recently, the Enugu state government set up what the command and control room. I personally was on TV and I talked about the number of roadblocks in the Southeast. And in my recent visit to the Southeast, I discovered that there is sanity. There's a lot of sanity. I think the IG of police also took note of that. These policemen that will block the road and start doing all manner of things, extortion and things like that, they are reduced drastically. Kidnapping is also reduced because government is approaching this issue proactively. Apart from the other security agencies that are working, the present government has also created the Nigerian Forest Security Service, meant to guard our forests. And if this is done properly, I don't see any reason why people should come to a locality and go and live in the bush. And what are they doing in the bush? Planning evil against the people. So when we wipe out those people who go to live in the bush, I don't want to call any name and say these are the people that do that, but if you live in a community, you have to live with the people, not in the bush.
No, quite all right. The federal government is doing its bit to help solve the issue of insecurity, and you said that the various governors have also realized that it cannot just be the responsibility of the federal government. Now, people have also said that leaders of the Southeast have not really come together with one voice to really criticize and move against these elements that are disrupting peace in the Southeast, because you are residents in those communities. They are your people. You know that they live amongst you. What has been the action of Southeast leaders beyond just what the federal government is doing? Are you on the same page with the federal government in helping to deal with these elements?
I agree with you completely. You know, the Republican nature of the Southeasterners and the Igbos particularly does not allow us this leverage of having a coordinated leaders. There's no powerful, in this issue, traditional rulers come into play. We do not have the likes of the Oani of Ife or the Lafin of Oyo or the Sultan of Sokoto who can beckon on the whole of Southeasterners and they come to these things. So, but there are also some prejudices about Nnamdi Kanu, and the sentiment of Nnamdi Kanu is still something that is keeping the people away from federal government. I plead that this issue is resolved immediately so that they can now speak with one voice, because whatever you say, do whatever you like, say whatever you like, the people still believe that Nnamdi Kanu should be free. And when that is not done, to galvanize them becomes a little difficult. So I plead with the federal government to please release Nnamdi Kanu or find a way to dispense of the matter. Either send him to prison if he's found culpable of an offense, or release him. But then, coming back to our leaders, like I've said, we are Republicans. So the governors are doing their bit. You don't have strong North-Southeast Traditional Rulers Conference. There's nothing like that. And you have Northern Traditional Rulers Conference. And the Southwest, they respect their leaders. Their Obas are highly respected. When they speak, the people listen. There's no singular traditional ruler in the whole of Southeast that can call all of us to order and say this. Then you talk about the issue of the Ohanese. this thing. And Ohaneze, too, is not something that mobilizes the people fully. It is there to speaking for the interest of the Igbos. But in terms of galvanizing leaders to come to a certain cause, it's not as is done in other places. So that is the peculiarity of the Southeast. And you have to bear with us on that.
Well, I was going to come to that because a lot of people would want to say that, the continued detention and trial of Nnamdi Kanu is what has fueled the anger of the Southeast against the current government. Now, if you are calling on the government to eventually release Nnamdi Kanu or process whatever, verdict they may want to put on him, do you think that will restore calm to the Southeast and also restore, the trust of the Southeast in the current government?
It will help a lot. It will help a lot. The sentiments in the rural areas is that, oh, no, they don't like us. They are holding Nnamdi Kanu for nothing. If this government does that, it will help us in campaigning. Because while we weaponize the policies, and they will ask us, why are they still holding Nnamdi Kanu if they are not finding him guilty after all these years? I think it is in the best interest of this country and the government to dispense with the case of Nnamdi Kanu once and for all.
Now, let's quickly look at this other issue. Peter Obi is a very strong force politically in Nigeria and also especially in the Southeast. Ahead of 2027, do you think that the force of a Peter Obi, considering what happened in 2023, can be jettisoned in the equation of things in the Southeast?
Not completely. But it's not going to play the role it played in 2023. Because in 2023, before 2023 election, the Southeasterners had a particular perception of APC as a political party. And then, the P2B coming out to contest for the presidency, nobody expected him to be that popular. Nobody knew. But then he has done that. But what we are advising the Southeast, what some of us are advising Southeastern leaders to do is this. Look, even the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, started talking about this presidency over 20 years ago. As a governor, he finished his governorship in Lagos State and then kept quiet, kept liaising with regions coming. I was surprised when I saw him during the burial of late Dr. Alex Ekwueme in Onko, in the church, sitting down. That told us that, look, this man has the interest of the Igbo people. So what I expect P2B to do, he has come into the limelight as a national leader. He has to build on that by relating with other regions, other people, and then knowing that for now, the odds favor President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you talk about rotational presidency, South and North, the South has it now. And then if you gang up with any other group to truncate this presidency of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it's not going to have a good impact on the whole of Southern region. So this is our turn, and we have somebody there already. Let us wait. When the next turn for the South comes, I know that every other region in the Southeast, in the South, the Southwest and the South-South, have had a fair share of this leadership. So P2B can begin to prepare himself for elections after the turn of the North. And then he could be a viable candidate. But for now, like I said, they have made some fundamental mistakes in Labour Party, his own party. They are not getting it right. How come after winning the election, almost all the people who won election under Labour Party had left Labour Party? And the party is still in crisis by now. So we are sure that the Southeasterners, and again, there was the issue of religion then in 2023, where there was this fear that, look, this ticket is going to do us that, do us that. Everybody is allayed of that fear now. They have seen that the president is a detribalized Nigeria. He's not a religious bigot. That is, in short, there are more Christians in power than another religion in this country. So that fear is being put to rest, and we are now going straight. Apart from the fact I mentioned that we have people who are now campaigning for us with resources, appointees of government, the ministers, the chief of naval staff. He's not into politics anyway, but we are happy that he is there, and you can see he's doing a good job for the country. Oil thefts have reduced drastically because of him, because of his policies in the Niger. That Nigeria now produces more oil than before. So these are issues, and we are happy that it's our own son that is there doing it, even though he is not political. Then the deputy speaker is also there mobilizing our people. So we are happy with the caliber of people. Like I mentioned, All the ministers, including my own minister, they are talking to the people, they are relating with the people, they are visiting the people all the time, and galvanizing and campaigning for President Ahmed Tinubu's re-election.
All right. We must say thank you for your contributions on the program this morning. That's where we'll leave the conversation. Hopefully, we'll continue it some other time. We must say thank you, Ambassador Simon Ejike Eze. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Well, that's where we'll leave our conversation this morning. We'll now hand you over to Lagos, where Veronica and the rest of the team are standing by.